This is session 1 of what I'm calling Gratitude is the Best Attitude. I heard a speaker the other day talking about the importance of living with gratitude, and he contrasted gratitude with entitlement. And it really struck me how much entitlement has become much of today's world. It's where this sense of road rage comes from. You cut me off and stopped me from driving exactly as I wanted to drive. Or the abuse of a health worker or a shop worker. We'll look a bit more at that, or a little bit more at it later in the week. For the moment I want to focus on the gratitude, living with gratitude. 1 Thessalonians 5:16 says, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you." We're being commanded to give thanks in all circumstances. Now the fact that it's put in as a commandment suggests it's not something that we do naturally. Like nobody has to command us to breathe, we just do it, it's natural. But we respond to bad things when they happen to us. It's not a natural response to give thanks. Alternatively though, the fact that it is command means that it is possible. And so this puts living with gratitude into the category of choices that we make. Philippians 4:6 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." And there it is again, in every situation, pray with thanksgiving. Not just in the good situations, but in every situation. The Thessalonians reading says that giving thanks in all circumstances is God's will for us. So it's indicating the sort of attitude that really pleases God. It doesn't say give thanks for the circumstances, it says give thanks in the circumstances. We may get some bad news, maybe it's bad news about our health or someone that we love. We don't thank God for the bad report, but we can thank God for the fact that He is there for us, that He will be for us, and He will take us through whatever the event is. With a bit of practice, we might even be able to start thanking God for what we're going to learn out of this particular event. It's an attitude that we need to develop. We need to work on it. And it all begins actually in Romans 12:2. "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing and perfect will." When we come to Jesus, we're made a new creation. Our mind has to be trained to see ourselves in a new way. We see that we're under God's grace, and yet we've never deserved it. We see God has a plan and a purpose for us. He wants to see us play our part in His plan for the world. It's a whole new perspective. We see how much we owe God and how freely God has given to us. The renewed mind is a grateful mind. The pattern of the world is entitlement. Let's begin to cultivate the practice of thanksgiving in all situations.